I'm very delighted, though, to be in this position.
Oh my God, I am so happy to be
we have
with
to
you.
start. We only have like half an hour, so we have to start very quickly. Just describe what you are, each of you.
I'm a grad student. No, come on, girl, you're selling yourself short. You're like a brilliant physicist.
So I'm a grad student at Harvard right now, and I study physics, and I am excited to be here and with Robot Queen.
Better.
Sabrina, and my name is Simone. I build shitty robots on YouTube.
That doesn't describe who you are. Why do you?
What was that?
Why do you build shitty robots?
I mean, initially it was because I was too bad at building stuff to make good ones. But then it kind of grew into something, and I don't know, I just really like the combination of comedy and engineering.
Yes, you are very funny.
Thank you. I'll put that on my LinkedIn. Vosnick said I was very funny.
Yes. How old are you?
26.
26. Okay.
How old are you?
Personality settles down about 18 to 23, so you are who you will be forever, pretty much, each of you. My questions are going to be to both of you, pretty much. Each of you, would you take a one-way trip to Mars?
I would send somebody there one way, but I wouldn't take it.
That's a really hard question for me because I so badly want to go to space. That is my ulterior motive for pretty much everything I do. But one-way ticket is a tough one. I'd say I'd take 1.5 ticket.
Yeah.
I don't
At
even know
any
what that
age in my life, I would gladly be one of those people with
Yeah,
the one-way
you go.
ticket. But I'm sorry, it's not about me, tell you. Okay. What's more important in work and education, knowledge or motivation?
You need the motivation to want to learn more, and then at some point, if you're not into it, you won't learn it. So,
I think, first of all, these are great questions.
Is it more
Yeah,
what you
this
learn
is your
or that you
first
want?
time interviewing, yeah.
you have to answer them too, though.
Pardon?
You have to answer the question too.
I have to answer the question?
Yeah.
Oh, I taught for years, and I knew that it was less important what I taught, more important that I motivate the students to want to learn, to enjoy it,
Yeah, no,
to communicate well.
I agree. I'm self-taught in what I do. I didn't really study engineering in school or anything robot related. So to me, motivation is key because when you're teaching yourself, it's so much about just like having that grit to push through learning hard things. And if you're motivated, then you have that for free.
Okay.
No, is that
Is
not
it
a
more,
good-
I'm going to ask you answer, I'm going to say classes or making things, building things?
So you think I would say classes, right? But actually, no, it's fun. I mean, I started with like building things. That's what got me into science. But you know, you take the classes, you learn that you can learn. You know, like you get your grades, and you're like, yes, I can do this. But at some point, you got to start learning on your own, even like if you are an academic route. And so I think that whatever it takes to get to that stage is what it needs. So it's not just classes. And I think if anything, making something is fulfilling and helps you motivate to do whatever grunt studying you do in the meantime.
Okay. Some of us run into people that say, should I go to the university this year or get involved with this little startup?
That sounds fun. Depends where you're in the startup, right? If it's your startup.
I think it's really hard to like, I feel like I'm in no position to be like, oh, don't go to school, like just do your thing. I mean, it is what I did, and I think what I can say is that the things that you're learning on the side and outside of school are also really important. So having that self-learning and building and actually applying the things that you're learning in school is also really critical. Fucking diplomatic over here.
I'm coming a bit from my own background too. By the way, I did go back. We started Apple without college educations, and I'm the one who went back and got it. Had to go under a fake name. My Berkeley diploma reads Rocky Raccoon Clark.
Awesome.
Like that.
Does that fool anyone?
What?
Does that fool anyone? Did they actually print that on?
That fooled them. Yeah. Oh yeah. The type people who want to hide their last name. You go to a big school, they will type a fake name into the computer, an alternate name, not a fake name, so that the teachers won't know and people won't know who you really are. Yeah. So they typed it into the Berkeley computer, and there I was.
It's like
Okay.
Clark Kent.
Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Celsius!
Fahrenheit.
Oh my god.
Do you use like Celsius only, but if you told me the temperature, it'd be Fahrenheit, but otherwise, it's Kelvin.
Don't get me started.
Kelvin.
Don't get me started on imperial. So I'm from Sweden. I grew up in Sweden and I moved to the States. I've been living here for about 1.5 years. And like, oh my God, how do you do it? How does your brain work? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
What does Celsius offer as an advantage?
I mean, Celsius is, the temperature scale is probably the least controversial one, but like yards and inches and all those things, what is going on? I have no idea. How many yards are there in a mile?
1,760.
Yeah. What
Although-
the fuck are you doing? Who chose that number?
The British.
The British. Okay, yeah, let's bring the British. That's uncontroversial as well.
Frankly, I think making everything multiples of 10 is a bad choice.
Why?
10 is not a natural base of numbers. It doesn't come from nature. It came from human beings.
You do 12 because it's divisible by
It
more
should have been
things.
16 or 8.
Yeah.
Okay?
Chop off a few fingers like that.
Well, then I have, well, by the way, to me, Celsius, the comfort range is the 20s in Celsius. If it's below 20, it's cold. If it's above 30, it's hot. That's how humans think. Beautiful system to remember that by. Anyway, next question is a very difficult one, science one. Cats or dogs?
There's a possibility contest with puppies, like in a few days, right? Like that's gonna be.
I hate animals so much that I don't even want to eat them. Yeah. I don't know. No, I love animals. Can I have all of them?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I can have all of them.
That was the most worthless question.
What about
Okay.
you? You have to answer that
Do
one yourself.
you two both do a lot of this on stage, answer questions, right? At least Simone does.
As of today?
Do you ever forget where you are when you wake up? Or what day of the week it is?
Yes. Or what time it is?
No, I definitely. When you're traveling a lot, because I do everything in bulk, like I travel in bulk and I have like 5 pit stops, and then you're always like, it's like, who am I? Is the first question. And then you're like, oh, right. And then you're like, where am I?
Do either of you ever solve problems? Maybe physics problems, maybe computer problems, in your head while you're sleeping?
Wake up to do it, yeah, I guess. It's not normally while you're actually asleep, but like, you can't sleep once you start thinking about it, so.
No, I always solve problems when I'm asleep, and then I wake up and I was like, that's a really shitty solution. The solution's
I
terrible.
will tell you a true story. I spent a lifetime of deliberately going to bed, working math problems, physics problems, waking up in the middle of the night with solutions. And sometimes they were shitty, and sometimes they were right. They were great. Oh well. Diversity. Diversity. It's a subject that's more popular today than it used to be. San Francisco or San Jose? Which is more associated with diversity?
I wouldn't know.
You're from
I'm from Chicago.
Chicago. You
Boston
wouldn't know.
area. I don't
You
know.
wouldn't necessarily know. Simone might have a guess.
I have no idea. I've lived in San Francisco for a little bit, and the first time I was in San Jose was actually to watch Adam Savage and Michael Stevens on the stage perform Brain Candy, and that's my only touch point with San Jose.
Silicon Valley, Santa Clara County, not San Francisco County, is one of 10 counties in the entire United States where more than half the people speak non-English at home. We attracted a lot of brainiacs from other countries.
Yeah, good.
You ever play any pranks?
Wouldn't talk about it,
You ever trick people? just plain trick them?
Yeah, all the time. It's all I do. I feel like also I'm starting to be more and more terrible on the internet because I'm starting to troll, but in a very obvious way. I think I tweeted the other day oh, we don't need science anymore because you can just Google things now. And people got so upset, and I was like, I'm a troll now. Oh my God, this is what it feels like, and it was kind of fun.
Yeah, these days it can be hard to be honest. Even William Shatner showed us some of that. How do you relate humor and creativity?
You first. This is my jam.
Either of you.
To me, humor is like the little trail of candy that you lay out to like trick children and adults to come and hang out at your house. No, it's where like.
How would you define creativity? How would you define creativity? We'll move on.
No, but to me, like in relationship to what I do with building shitty robots, like I have a lot of people watching my videos who aren't really interested in engineering, and it's like you're luring them in with the jokes, and then you're like, boom, transistors right in your face. You just learned something, and they're like, what is this happening to me? Yeah.
Okay.
And I think something like humor is something that you think that you're better at when you try to make things entertaining, and then creativity is, I guess, what you need anyway. So.
I always thought of creativity as trying to think different, out of the box. And then when you go in a different direction than everyone else, but it converges back and does the same thing as before.
But it's not responsibility.
And a joke.
Don't, like, try too hard to, like, be creative. Because if you're like,
But
be
a
creative.
joke goes off telling a story in one direction, and at the punchline you find out there was another direction, that it does the same thing.
But wait, so is creativity only in relationship to what other people do? So if everybody was going in that other direction, it wouldn't be creative.
No.
So there's no absolute creativity, it's just in relation to.
Creativity is just create, make something new, take a fictional idea, science fiction maybe, something in your head, and make it real. That's my definition. That's not everyone's. Everyone has their own definition.
Very diplomatic.
Is there any tech that you hate but you need it?
All social media.
Navigation systems? Anybody?
I'm not on social media, so I guess I might need it, but I don't know.
Okay.
I was like, girl, I tried to find you on Twitter. I had to like type out your name. And you're like, yeah, I just don't do it because it's
Here's a
not what I
question with
want
a
to do.
hidden meaning. Are you cold people or warm people?
As in like lizards or?
Do you like it? Do you like cold weather or do you like warm
I
weather?
like variation.
Huh?
Variation. Makes you work harder when it's cold, and then know that one day it will be warm.
So you're a cold person?
I'm a warm person at
You're
heart,
warm?
but I want the cold to remind me of how much I like the warm.
Yes. If you go to Antarctica, you will not go in shorts.
You're not coming back.
Which is how I do it. Okay. Do you feel reactive or proactive these days?
Well, I
You're
guess
right.
you're the one asking the question, so we're reactive right now.
Are you just sort of reacting and going where you get the calls, or?
I'm gonna answer my own question.
See, this is being proactive.
Ice cream. Whose favorite food? Yeah, but yeah.
Do you play any games with numbers or mathematics or words or letters?
Well, it's a game until you get it right.
Car license plate games, maybe? Any games?
Oh wow, I have never been asked this question before.
You'd know if you do or
If you
don't.
try to make it a game, I guess it's a game if you do it all the time.
I mean, like we always try to make names out of, or like words out of license plates. So if it was like a letter combination, in Sweden it's 3 letters and 3 numbers, and we always try to make words out of them.
Here we just pay for license plates that say stuff.
Yeah.
Like acronyms or something? I love that. That's a game. That's very good.
Okay, that's it. Okay,
I love
I
it.
play games. I play games.
Yes. I get ideas like that. I want to do it myself. Shatner or Nemo?
Oh wait, you would have asked this question if Shatner had been here, really?
I'm not trying to make them easy, but they don't have. It's not like a total test where there's one right answer.
Oh, you're giving this to me. You're like,
yeah,
you're
this
giving me.
is the eye contact, right?
Easy out. I've never watched it.
That's fine. Easy
I'm
out.
sorry. Did I just offend everyone? I could have offended either one of them.
You're a troll.
But now I just offended everyone. Yeah, I'm a troll now. I'm just embracing this new lifestyle of mine.
Logic or feelings?
Feelings backed up by logic, so it's all an afterthought.
Yeah, logic for what you put down on paper and feelings for like wanting to put it on a piece of paper.
Okay. Do either of you have any favorite cars in the world these days?
I don't have a driver's license. I just got my learner's permit, and my friend has let me drive his sports truck, and I'm like, I'm invincible. Like, I have to have another person in the car. I can go anywhere, so, yeah.
I guess that's San Francisco and we're San Jose. And I grew up in San Jose, and I am so proud to say that I'm a laureate of Lincoln High School and San Jose City College. Driver improvement, that is.
What's your favorite car?
Yeah.
Favorite car? It's tough. Probably the one I drive right now. I like an all-electric car. I just want to be part of that future. Of saying that, I don't necessarily choose a car that meets the best spreadsheet deals. It might be a hybrid. I drove Prius for 10 years of my life. I don't like a real expensive exotic car, so I have a Tesla. It's a great car. But I now have a Chevy Bolt, and it's a much lower cost car that has the same benefits of electricity. So I drive that one. Because I always try to use the lowest cost solutions. If I were thinking of a robot, how could I make it even cheaper if it were real productive? Do you ever make robots that don't do shitty things, that do real productive things?
So I mean, yes, but I don't show them to the world. But it's funny because I've got into this weird point where I published a robot. I did a beer robot, so it's like poured a beer and like served it to you. And in one of the takes, I just used like a red, and one of the takes is like completely smashes the glass, but in one of the takes, I just used a red cup. And it like does like kind of, I mean, it like covers me in beer, but it still kind of manages to serve me beer. And people got so upset. They were like, Simone, what the heck are you doing? This isn't shitty at all. Like, this is way too good. I hate it. So it's this weird, yeah.
You need an alias. You need to be.
But
Yeah, I need to be Rocky Raccoon.
it doesn't have to be bad, though, does it? To be good? It doesn't have to be useless to be good.
I mean, they do. The things I do, they serve some sort of purpose. Like, they're good in their own way. Like, they're great at being shitty robots.
Okay?
Yeah. They're just not very competitive in any other field.
Have you ever ridden Segways?
I fell off of the Segway. I know, right? I ride motorcycles. I can't ride a Segway because, like, yeah.
I'm a part.
Did you have a helmet?
I was just inside like a aerospace lab. It wasn't like that long. It didn't last very long, so.
I'm a part of Testa.com. Adam Savage's Testa.com together with Norm Chan and a bunch of cool people. If I were to have ridden the Segway, they would not have let me in. Yeah, it's like a part of the, yeah. It's impossible to avoid there.
That's kind of, okay, that's cool.
You ride a Segway?
Have you ever had any experience with mentoring?
Yes, or a question.
What?
Yeah. Do you ride Segways?
I've ridden Segways since the very start. I was the first one to buy a Segway. I knew the inventor.
Cool.
30 people got them ahead of me because they wrote neat essays for Amazon. They got them for free. But I was the first one to buy them.
Wow.
No, I was even on the team that defined the sport, Segway Polo. I used Segways in my life, right out the front door, ride a Segway. I'm in town in 5 to 10 minutes. Parking, no problem. Parking is a mess in my city, but not if you have a Segway. We carry them in our cars. We drive long road trips. We go to other cities. Get on a Segway. You learn all the landmarks so much better than walking, which would take hours,
How fast can you
or
go?
a car when you're looking at the road. And we play Segway Polo, and it's a big international sport now.
How fast can you go though?
How fast?
Like, can you make it go?
That's not the point of Segways. 12.5 miles per hour. It gets you along where you would be able to walk, but safely. You can fall. But no. So I love Segways, so it was a personal question I was asking. Let's see if you rode any. We've got some backstage here.
Cool, yeah.
We rode them in, yeah.
I just really want to ride a Segway while wearing Google Glass, but I feel that the time for that is over. Do it anyway. Thank you. You're like, let your freak flag fly.
Okay. Open or closed? Think that.
Are you talking about doors or sets?
Open or closed? Could be as a person, could be technology, could be
Relationships?
computer, could be. I didn't want to look at both of you and ask your standard questions.
No.
Empty.
Boring for you.
Empty.
Empty?
Huh? Empty?
Like empty. Yeah.
Empathy.
I have no good answer to that. How did you write all these questions?
They just came out of me and I don't know from where.
Yeah.
I don't have a formula for questions.
Okay, open or close?
I thought, what would I like to be asked if I were you? Making you think. Not going to be trivial.
You didn't hit it on the nail with that one, but
Alrighty. That's okay.
You're doing great.
Why do scientists and engineers have trouble communicating
Do they?
with normal people?
Oh, now how do you define normal?
I think your answer is good. Do they? Not always.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. What are you?
Well,
Scientist?
that's your question.
Okay,
You're a
for me,
scientist.
I don't know.
Communicate with us.
You don't know me.
Yeah, that's all right.
No, I think that normally what happens is you study so much so that you can talk to fewer and fewer people, which is really sad in some sense, right? Because you learn this like technical language and you're like, oh cool, now I can use these words in the right order and other people who study this will understand me. And then meanwhile, everybody else is like, so this is what you do, huh? And oftentimes, I don't know, you want to get back to the stage where you're like, let's make some really abstract explanation of what I do that's just like picking things up and saying this is like this and this is like that, and then you realize you really need to make sure you know it well enough first so that you're not like oversimplifying, and so you're in this kind of like thing in your head where you're like, am I saying this right or am I oversimplifying? And then you just get like, but in the end it all comes out better because you're enthusiastic, and normally like
Yeah, no.
you learn how to write it to a different audience, and then you just try to be entertaining in the meantime. I don't know.
I think that to me, it's not the engineering side that makes me awkward. It's like the talking to camera side.
Where's the camera?
No, not here. I mean, there's people. There's a bunch of cameras here. But no,
Like, where is it? So we can like look at it and be really awkward at it. Like,
I'm talking. No, he like lower his camera. It's gonna make him awkward. No, it's that just makes you weird because you're like talking in different tonalities. Like obviously, like you have like a little bit of different, like not different personas, but like different sides of it. And it's more like you come home after a long day of shooting and you're like, oh my God, yeah, let's go to bed. Cut. Yeah, it's just that makes you really awkward to interact with sometimes, yeah.
It's difficult, but communication is important in education. Do either of you have goals with where you've gotten to now?
yes.
And like a bucket list or goals? You tell me.
You just asked if I had goals. Of course I have goals. You didn't ask.
I only
what
asked
they
if you had. Now I'm asking you what they are.
were. If I told you.
If you don't want to.
No. I think the thing is sometimes like you have a lot of goals, and then people like say you're going to do something, and then you're like, I need to start doing stuff before I say what I want to do. But I don't know. I think the important thing is when you get older, oftentimes it sounds like the kids can say they want to do like so many things, and then you get older and you're like, oh, I can't say that anymore. But it doesn't mean you don't still want to do those things. It's just there's a time and a place to be like telling people your plans for global domination, and then
Girl, I just launched my own space program and I'm like, I want to go to space. No shame.
well, I'm not ashamed of it. The question is like there's got to be some level of like understanding who's going to know what of what your plan is, because you don't want everybody to know the whole plan.
Oh, really? Oh, but you're planning some like villain stuff. Yeah, no, that's a different flavor. Yeah.
I'll ask you both the question a little differently. Did you know from when you were very young that you would be interested in physics? Did you want to go in that
I
direction?
wanted to be a pop star really long, and then I wanted to like build spacecraft. So then I realized, yeah, I needed to learn how to
And
build a plane, whatever, then physics.
Simone, did you know you'd be a YouTube star?
Did you know what
You'd
you
be fond of our
there?
technology, you know.
Probably did not know what YouTube was. No, I wanted to be a bunch of different things. I wanted to be a scientist, and then I realized I'm way too scattered-minded to be a good one.
Have you met us?
Touche, yeah, good one, yeah. No, I did. I wanted to I watched a lot of Animal Planet. I wanted to I hang out with animals. And then I wanted to, yeah, the little thing. And then I really wanted to be a Mythbuster. So, yeah.
You got this. You got this.
Not fully, but yeah, it's
She's getting this.
definitely,
Adam?
yeah. No, it's pretty wild, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounds like you're both having a good, productive life on the path.
Hope
right
so.
path. Are there any unusual things in life that you look at and think, wow, I'd like to be associated with that? It could be companies, it could be products.
Like you?
It could be a Segway.
Yeah, a Segway.
Well, I like everything, it's just because it is unusual, but
I really like jumpsuits. Is that a decent
jumpsuits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wear a lot of jumpsuits. It's like one decision. You have to make one decision of what you're going to wear, and you're like, this thing, and then you just put it on. Yeah, it's great. I mean, you pay for it every time you have to go to the restroom.
Well, I mean, no, they totally have like the one, like, I mean, you can get something that zips better, like all the way down, right? But,
Oh,
if they just, I mean, I don't know.
Who's a friend of friend?
All the way down.
Continues right on. And you're just like, two pieces split. Okay.
We should do this, yeah.
Yeah, I'll launch a jumpsuit collection like that.
If we can get a onesie hat thing going on with it.
So Simone, did you have to wear a jumpsuit when you did the weightless thing?
I did, yeah, we got to wear. So I got to go on a zero-G
Cool,
flight, like one of these planes that does parabolas, so you get to experience weightlessness.
You know, in a Cessna, normally you just like dive a little bit, and then you get somewhat weightlessness. You're not in a huge cabin, but you can kind of.
Yeah, so there's no air coming out your face because that kind of
Well,
kills
it's like the
experience a little
same
bit.
thing, but instead of like.
Anyone in here done the weightless thing in the planes? Not too many of us.
Oh my God.
Not intentionally.
I've always wanted.
Turbulence.
That's something I've always wanted to do, and I don't
Why
know
don't you do
why.
it? Feels like you.
I turned down the invitations.
Why?
Why?
Busy life, conflicts.
Can't you just tell them when to do it?
Probably could. Priorities, all the things that are stacked up, hundreds of things, and you guys aren't that old yet. You get all these responsibilities, and you have 20 things that are important and critical in your family and friends, and you put them off, and you got to keep putting them off, and they're losing out because of it in life.
I feel like you
You feel
can make it
bad.
happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely doable.
Okay. But I think, were you both warm people? I forget where we got on that.
I'm from Sweden.
I thought someone
very
was supposed to
cold.
bring the thermometer out or something. Right?
Yeah, I'm cold. You're cold.
I'm warm and fuzzy.
Warm and fuzzy. No.
On the inside and then cold.
What does integrity mean to both of you? Integrity.
Integrity is
You
honesty.
can give me examples or definitions.
I mean, it's like honesty, and especially in science, it's important just because, like, if you lose that, then what you're doing is just completely undermined. So, to me, it's important.
Not building a sex robot, even though thousands of people are requesting it.
Integrity might be doing what the people want, but the first one that struck me as honesty, because I always put that as the apex of all that's good, but isn't that ethics more than, more than integrity? I think is deeper.
Well, it depends on your person. I mean, I think there's a sense in which integrity in science is that you're representing what you're doing accurately, and so that's where the honesty is in.
Okay. Have either of you had mentors of your own, or have you mentored others? It's going to be my last question.
Yeah. I mean, everybody gets where they are based on like who they happen to meet in the time, and some mentors are like literally like you meet with them every once in a while and they tell you how to be like them, and then other times it's just someone who's willing to like deal with you when you're just a little kid who wants to do something, and it's great to have the opportunity now sometimes when you can inspire somebody maybe if they like to interact with you and you can give that back, but yeah.
Simone, is Adam Savage a mentor to you?
Yeah, he's definitely a mentor and a very good one at that. But I have a lot of mentors. I mean, most of them don't know that they're a mentor of mine. It's very
But neither of you
one
have
way,
taken
very one
it
way.
to like pay it forward and try to mentor others?
In some sense, yeah, I think so. I mean, there are a few people I know that I like catch up with them regularly enough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that I have like one person, but I try and give people advice with like a big disclaimer. This is probably terrible advice, like take it or leave it. But this is what I did. Don't do it.
Okay, we've now heard from brilliance and entertainment and combination. Give them a hand.